Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is MrYorkiesWorld. Welcome back to the channel. And today, or tonight, should I say, we're actually doing a night flight on the channel for the first time in quite a while, actually. We're going to be taking the Air Europa 1038 flight from Paris, Charles de Gaulle, over to Malaga. I've just bought some new Malaga scenery. I don't know what the hell's happening with the Paris terminal building here, but we've got some tomato shade going off here as well with the R&D preset. Just to add a little bit more realism, I've decided to make the switch over to tomato shade, and I'm really happy that I've done that. I think you can see the reflections are a lot better. The performance isn't too good at night, but we'll soon see how we get on. So we've just set the auto brake to RTO. We can set the parking brake, which is already done. And we might as well go ahead and put some fuel in. So £19,276 worth of fuel today. Quite a small amount of fuel compared to what we've been using. It's only a 2 hour and 20 minute flight approximately, so nothing too major. We can start the APU. We've already set all the lights and everything that needs to be done because obviously it's night time. Seatbelt signs and the chime, arm the emergency lights. Our flight level is 350 today. Or this evening. This is actually the same time that this flight would have departed. We're hopefully going to be departing for about 7:35 PM UK time. So we can hope that by the time we leave the stand and get onto the runway, it will be around that time. So LFPG. We're currently at gate Foxtrot 30. And we can grab the GPSL position. Barrow's already set, 1034. I'm going to check and see whether the flight plan actually loads, which is LFPG to LEMG. And what a surprise, it's deleted itself again for some bizarre reason. Just bear with me a second. It tends to do this quite a lot. I don't know why it does it. I download the flight plans and then it just deletes it as soon as the sim starts up. Let's just open the doors, or close the doors, should I say. The catering's complete now. Just going to request clearance.
1038 with latest request clearance. Europa 1038 cleared to LEMG. The other AEA1038 hotel departure and then as filed. Climb and maintain flight level 70.
70 on the initial altitude.
10 minutes after departure frequency 118.3.
VORs, traffic and data, flight directors. Oops, there we go. Clear the warning.
Flight level 70. Expect flight level 350 within 10 minutes after departure.
Our departure runway is going to be runway 08 left. Activate, execute. Our zero fuel weight, according to SimBrief, is 111.0 today. There we go. 350. 6,000. The cost index, I'm going to use 30 because I couldn't find anything on my cost index database for Air Europa. The reserves today are going to be 0.94, but for some reason it just puts 9 in. Oh, 0.9. Departure SID is going to be AGO P2 Hotel. That sounded really weird. We're going to be using flaps 5. Let's just take a look at some winds. 360 at 7 knots. Gives us a V2 speed of 141 knots. There we go. LNAV and VNAV. The runway heading for 08 left. It is 08 left, yes. Let's just take a look. 086. There we go. And we can request boarding. So as ever, this is going to be premiered, or whatever you want to call it, on YouTube. So people are going to be able to chat to me. I'm not actually live at the moment. It's pre-recorded. but it's a feature of YouTube that allows me to watch a video with everybody as it premieres, as it goes live for the first time, and it lets me answer some questions and talk and interact with people as well. So feel free to put something in the comments, or should I say the chat, if you really want to, and I'll do my best to answer. There are some rules, and those rules will be in the description. But nevertheless, I'm thinking of leaving the MCP lit up a little bit like that. Not sure whether that's what they do in the real world, but that's something that I really like to see. We will, however, put LEMG in and set our fixed rings up as well. Oops. So yeah, any questions that anybody's got, I will try and do my best to answer in the comments section. I really do like the YouTube Premiere feature. It's a fantastic thing, I think, especially for people who are on limited time to be able to do stuff like live streams. We could test the TCAS or test the transponder. Set this to local time. It's 7:15. And the passengers, look at that sky, absolutely gorgeous. Lovely, lovely sky. Again, the terminal building, I don't know why that's happening, but nevertheless, we're going to wait until everybody's boarded. Look at the reflections from this tomato shade. Nevertheless, I will catch up with you guys in just a few moments through the magic of editing. Okay guys, so here we go. The jetway's connected, but we're going to have to disconnect it in a moment. Let's just close the main exit in the cargo. Request startup and pushback.
Request startup and pushback.
Auto throttle.
Approved. Europa.
Fuel pumps, hydraulics, anti-collision. Wheel well off. And ground connections can go as well. Everything's looking fine. Takeoff ref page on one FMC, should I say, and the legs page on the other. I'm not sure what's going on because we need to select a straight pushback. The jetway's still connected, so we need to sort of cancel pushback and reset GSX. Let me just sort this out. That's reset the jetway. Tail left, there we go. We were going to do a straight pushback, but it appears that a tail left pushback, according to EFB, is the way to go. I kind of like the way the MCP looks when it's lit up like that.
Good day, sir. Just waiting for some apron traffic while the tug's position. Be pushing back in a couple of minutes. Parking brake on, please.
Maybe turn it down a little bit. There we go. Bring the yoke up. 141 is going to be the V2 speed, so we'll put that in here. Like so. Yeah, it looks a little bit better like that.
Lock in the gear.
Grant, easy 2790. Request startup and pushback.
2790. Startup is approved.
Approved. Easy 2.
And we're just waiting for GSX to do its thing.
Tug is in position.
Ground 1823 is clear of the runway. Request taxi to parking.
1823. Taxi via Kilo.
Parking brakes released.
Alpha Uniform Romeo Foxtrot Chopper. To gate Delta 15.
Engine 2.
Kilo 4 Echo Delta Alpha Uniform.
But look at that. Look at the reflections. Absolutely gorgeous reflections. The lighting as well. Should be pretty interested to see what things look like over there on landing. And we've also got the immersion of Pro ATCX and Ultimate Traffic Live as well, giving us some real-world traffic. And silly me, I forgot to actually release the fuel. Would be helpful, to be honest, if I'm expecting to fly the aircraft today. There we go.
Alpha 3 Tango 6162
Probably going to get a little bit of pop in and stuff like that with the textures and the auto gen, but overall we're looking okay. Engine 1 now. Actually release the fuel when I'm supposed to this time. Around there should do it. Yeah, the textures on the terminal building, I have no idea what that is. It doesn't do that in the daytime with the same settings, so if anybody's got a fix for it, the texture resolution and everything is set to max as well. Everything is set to ultra on the textures. Probe heats. Just waiting for engine number 1, and then we can transfer the power. There we go. Engines to continuous. Transfer the power. APU bleed. APU off. Packs. Flaps can be set to 5. And we can set the trim. You can see those flaps coming down. Hopefully the replay feature will be fixed as well, so we can actually watch the landing over at Malaga. For the first time I've experienced the Malaga scenery. Full left. Full right on the controls. So let's just bring up that controls page there and do it again. So full forward, full back, full left and right on the rudder, full left and full right. Perfect. Get rid of that for now. I will have to turn these displays down as well. They're a little bit bright for me. Tow truck's gone. Perfect. Taxi and turn-offs. Everything else looks fine. And we can request taxi to the runway.
1038. Request taxi.
AEA1038. Taxi via Golf November Tango Whiskey Alpha to runway 08 left.
Via Golf November.
Let's just sort that out on EFB. We can release the parking brake.
Left Europa 1038.
And off we go. Again, apologies in advance for the stuttering that's going to occur. The performance is not as bad as what I thought it would be at night time. Lighting looks absolutely amazing. Although I wish the lights weren't sort of hovering above the ground, which they appear to be at the minute. But nevertheless, we shall make our way to runway 08 left. And while we do that, I better get into some information about the flight so we know what we're doing. So, again, we are with Air Europa 1038 or AEA1038 from LFPG Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf, which is Paris Charles de Gaulle, to Lima Echo Mike Golf, which is Malaga. We're going to be flying at flight level 350 today. We've just left gate Foxtrot 30. We're going to be travelling approximately 966 miles. Takes about 2 hours and 20 minutes, or 2 hours and 19 minutes if you want to be absolutely precise about what FlightAware says. And again, we've just departed from the gate at 7:26 PM local time, or 7:25 approximately, something like that. The actual flight departed at 7:35 PM, so should be pretty interesting to see if we can actually make it to the runway on time to do that. So nevertheless, I will skip ahead and we will get to the runway. Okay, so here we go. We have literally just got to take this left turn and then turn to the right slightly. Performance is not actually that bad. Quite impressed. Now, where are we going? I'm sure it said take this right. Yeah, there's a right turn in here. Look at that. Absolutely magnificent. So I think we have to take... There's a right turn somewhere. Oh no. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Don't know what I was on about. This is the runway threshold. We're there. 08 left.
Tower Europa 1038. Holding short of runway 08 left.
AEA1038. Line up runway 08.
And we can line up straight away. Pretty good. Right. TA and R8.
Europa 1038.
Landing lights. Taxi lights off. Strobe lights on. And takeoff is usually when we get quite a bit of stutter, so hopefully we won't. I will have to adjust those displays. The PFD and everything is a little bit too bright. Let's just stop here a little minute. Start the clock, clear for takeoff. 40%. And Toga. The notorious warning light again. All is good. $80 knots. And rotate. There we go. Positive rate. Gear up. Look at that. Lovely, lovely night lighting by Orbx. Absolutely magnificent. Lock the gear, auto brake off, autopilot, altitude intervene, engines, runway turn-offs, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, look at that, absolutely magnificent. Could start to bring the flaps up in a little minute. Flaps 2. Flaps 1. And flaps up. Absolutely amazing. A little bit of pop in with the lights, but I'm not too bothered. What a fantastic departure that was. Right, let's just take a look and see what we can do with this. No, that's the main sort of panel. Ah, here we go, here we go. Let's sort of turn them down a little bit this way. Oops. Not sure how to do the FMCs. 160. 6,000 standard pressurization. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to turn down the actual displays. The background's still a little bit bright. Or not the background, should I say, the actual visuals on the displays. That turns it up, that turns it down a little bit. Maybe up a little. Not really sure, to be honest. Let's just put it back to roughly how it was. Oops. And then we can sort it out later. I'm probably turning the wrong switch. But I mean, look at that. I know I'm notorious for saying that. Look at that. What is that? how is that? Or whatever. Oops, wrong button. We actually need the seat belts to auto. There we go. Yeah, I'm sort of famous for saying, look at that. Not sure what happened there. We got a little bit of stutter. Landing lights. What the hell's happening here? There we go. Off. I don't know whether to switch the logo on the wing off yet. We are above 10,000, but not entirely sure. I'm just absolutely mesmerised by the level of realism. Gonna start this right turn. Not much pop in, but you can tell there's a little tiny bit here and there. I am certainly not going to complain. I am indeed going to switch off the logo lights. And I might switch off the wing lights as well, because we don't really need those on at the minute. There we go. I don't recall seeing them in the real aircraft when we're above 10,000 feet. Fuel, that's because we need to set the fuel pumps, the centre ones, off. There we go. So with about 2 hours to go, I will leave you guys with some amazing cinematics on the way over to Malaga. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, so as you can see, we are approaching the 150 mile radius. We have just begun our descent to 250, and I have managed to turn down the brightness on everything apart from the FMC. So arrival, we're going to be using the BLN-1 Zulu arrival for ILS Zulu 31, which will be, there we go, ILS Zulu 31. And the Papa India Sierra Alpha Victor. I'm not even going to attempt to say that, just in case anybody has any controversial comments. But yes, that is indeed the star and the approach and everything we're going to be using. Right. So we're going to be using flaps 30 at 135, which is actually 140 because we're adding 5 knots. And we should already have the ILS frequency 109.90. There we go. And 313 is the course. No doubt EFB will tell me it's something like 314 or something. It usually is a few points off. And if we have a look, this is the approach. That's where we are now. And of course this is the actual approach that we're going to be using. Pretty complicated, but that's the way it goes. Elevation 31 feet, so in the barrow I will add 200 to that. So 231 is the actual minimums. So 231. Do the same on the other side. Just one more. There we go. Auto brake, we can use 2. What else? Nothing else needs doing immediately. You can see that we are literally just crossing that 150 mile mark. Not much to see, but look at those lights. They are pretty nice. Not many on that side, but there we go. Yeah, I think I'm happy with the way the cockpit looks at the minute.
Europa 1038. Contact Madrid on 132.9.
We'll switch on the logo and the wing lights when we're below 10,000, I think.
132.9.
But in the meantime, I'll catch up with you guys when we're about ready to land.
Madrid, Europa 103.
Okay guys, so we have literally just transitioned to the local QNH, which is 1022. You can see the ILS feathers, which we'll be turning on to very, very shortly. We're currently at 240 knots. We've had to use a little bit of speed brake. We're also going to use some flaps just to slow us down. Can put that away now, actually. Make sure it's armed. We've got the aircraft set up as it needs to be. We're at 4,500 feet. I'm going to tone that speed back a little bit. We're already at flaps 2. And here we go with the final turn to the left. We're going to select VOR lock in a few seconds. I was going to do it now, but I might as well wait. Just until we've near enough completed this turn. Glide slope is coming in, but that's probably going to go back out again. Flaps 5. Going to reduce the speed to 210, which is our flaps 10 speed, or just below. There's the localizer. And in a few seconds we should start to see it come in on the PFD as well. Glide slope diamond is there, but
AEA1038, descent to 3,000.
3,000 feet.
3,000. Europa 1038.
May have to use vertical speed. Looking good. .205 on the speed. And we can arm the localizer. Flaps 10. Take that speed down now. There we go, we're capturing the localizer. Approach hold. Or maybe we should try and just use the localizer for now. No, obviously it's not going to work because we're already in approach mode. Not a problem, it just means that the aircraft's going to pitch up a little bit.
1038, descent to 2,000, cleared for final contact.
2,000.
At the marker. Frequency is 118.
There's the airport lights just appearing out of nowhere.
2,000. Europa 1038.
Speed's looking good. We're established almost on the localizer. There we go. Everything's looking good. Flaps 30 at 134. You can see that the course has actually changed to 314 when it says 313 in other places. Not that it's a major difference. Coming up on 2,000 feet now. Speed brake in and armed. There we go. 2,000 feet.
Europa 1038. On final, request landing, runway 31.
Europa 1038. Slow 2,
Final approach speed.
1022. Clear to land, runway 31.
Final approach speed, QNH 1.
Gear down.
Clear to land, runway
And
31.
flaps 15.
Europa 1038.
Look at that. Perfect. 25 and 30 now with the flaps. Wonderful. Nose is still a little bit high because it's trying to chase the glide slope there because we're slightly lower than we should be. But nevertheless, should start to lower back down in a second. I do apologise, here we go. I do apologise in advance. My voice, as I may have said earlier, is terrible. We've got everything set up as it needs to be. Engines continuous, lights are on. Gears down, speed brake armed. Final approach speed. Yeah, my throat always gets bad at this time of year. It's usually around Christmas I can never talk, so don't blame me if the next video you can hardly hear me. Lovely view. Hoping the terminal textures might be a little bit better over here at Malaga compared to what they were at Paris in the night time. Should be coming up on 1,000 feet anytime soon. Or thereabouts. There we go. And with that, the aircraft is mine. We've got some animated traffic there, I can see. That's not a result of my in-sim sliders. That is, in fact, the scenery. Trying to keep that 2 red, 2 white profile as much as I can. For some reason it's not showing me the wind, which is unusual. Nevertheless, we seem okay. A little bit low.
Hold your position.
There we go.
300. Approaching minimum. 200. Minimum.
Continue. Pappies are looking brilliant.
100. 50. 40. 30.
Nice little flare.
20. 10.
Touchdown, nice firm touchdown. Reversers. Decel. 60 knots, manual braking.
Contact ground on 121.7.
Wonderful. Auto brakes disarmed.
1038.
And we're actually going to look at those replays once we've got to the gate. Just to make sure that the sim doesn't decide to crash. Take this exit here. What an amazing touchdown. Nice and firm. Perfectly on profile with the pappies as well. And we'll come to a stop just here. And clean up the aircraft. Welcome everybody to Malaga. Let's see if we can let the aircraft roll to a stop. Just before this threshold line. And there we go. No brakes used. Parking brakes set. Right. Taxi to parking.
Ground Europa 1038 is cleared of the runway. Request taxi to parking.
Europa 1038, taxi feed Alpha Bravo to Terminal 1, Gate 52.
Terminal 1, Gate 52. Let's just set that up on EFB, and then we can set it up with GSX. Right, so gates and 52. We're sending us to a medium gate, which is unusual. It's got Air Europa though, that's all good. Right, let's clean up a little bit at least. VORs, traffic and data, stuff like that. Flaps are on the way up. Flight directors, VORs, traffic and data. Engines to off. Taxi lights on, landing lights off. Strobes to steady, and we can switch off the probe heats. Start the APU. Clear the warning. Switch over the frequencies. Transponder can come off. And parking brake released. The gate is not too far away. Which is nice. So we're going to take a look at some of those replays after we've actually parked up at the gate and deboarded. Just to make sure that we don't have any issues. I'm actually quite impressed with the performance over here at Malaga. I was expecting a little bit of stutter. But it looks as if things are looking pretty nice. Oh! And we've got an aircraft taking off. A nice Ryanair 737. Away he goes. Probably taking all the holiday makers back to rainy England. My next upgrade for the sim is going to cost a lot of money, and it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. I am planning on getting an Intel Core i9 processor, which is one of the latest CPUs. It's incredibly powerful, and it will revolutionise the way that these videos are made. It's not going to happen anytime soon because it costs a lot of money. But combining that with my 1080 Ti, I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, here we go. The lights are off, ready for turning in to the stand or the gate. Gate 52. Make the left turn. Perfect. Right. See if we can't get this somewhat where it's meant to be. That'll do, I suppose. Parking brake set. Right. Transfer the power. We can APU bleed and ISO valve. Cut the engines. Dome light. Seatbelts off. Fuel pumps off. Ground connections. Ground power selected. And switch off the hydraulics. And here comes the gate, or the jetway. Well, I am pretty impressed with that, to be honest. Let's just make sure the jetway actually connects to the aircraft properly. Yeah, that'll do for me. Deboarding. Open the doors. And with that, welcome everybody to Malaga. This has been a 2-hour flight. Hope you enjoyed. Again, this is going to be another one of my premieres, a third time I've done a premiere. Really enjoyed it so far. And hopefully I've managed to answer some questions. We're going to take a look at some of those replays. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.